to assert more of himself into the production. Unfortunately, one of his first attempts was a heavy-handed one, deciding to alter part of Rourke's courtroom speech, to shorten it, to omit certain passages that he did not consider significant to the story. In Rand's eyes, this was her Cortlandt Homes, the magnificent intellectual edifice raised to the glory of man as a thinking, creating being who had the basic, inalienable right to exist for his own sake. Moreover, it was the summation of the thesis of her novel, and indeed of the philosophy which she had so painstakingly labored for so many years, and had endured poverty and dozens of publishing rejections to bring to the world's attention. She would not look away from this. She could not look away from this. Just as Rourke would not let someone compromise the integrity of his buildings, Rand similarly would not allow Wieder to tamper with the speech or its message. She threatened to disassociate herself from the film, that she would have nothing to do with the film if the speech was not delivered exactly as she had written it. Fear over the bottom line won out. Blank interceded and received orders from no less than Jack Warner himself that the speech was to be shot exactly as written.
Throughout the centuries, there were men who took first steps down new roads, armed with nothing but their own vision. The great creators, the thinkers, the artists, the scientists, the inventors, stood alone against the men of their time. Every new thought was opposed, every new invention was denounced. But the men of unborrowed vision went ahead. They fought, they suffered, and they paid, but they won. No creator was prompted by a desire to please his brothers. His brothers hated the gift he offered. His truth was his only motive. His work was his only goal. His work, not those who used it. His creation, not the benefits others derived from it. The creation which gave form to his truth. He held his truth above all things and against all men. He went ahead, whether others agreed with him or not, with his integrity as his only banner. He served nothing and no one. He lived for himself. And only by living for himself was he able to achieve the things which are the glory of mankind. Such is the nature of achievement.
At the time, Cooper's final speech in the Fountainhead was the longest in cinematic history. In addition, Rand found herself solicited by the producers of the film to defend the film's theme against various censorship bodies such as the Johnson Commission, who were willing to let the infamous rape scene of Dominique remain in the film, but were more concerned over the film's overtly non-Christian message of selfishness as a virtue.
Before you can do things for people, you must be the kind of man who can get things done. But to get things done, you must love the doing, not the people. Your own work, not any possible object of your charity. I'll be glad if men who need it find a better manner of living in the house I build. But that's not the motive of my work, nor my reason, nor my reward. My reward, my purpose, my life, is the work itself. My work done my way. Nothing else matters to me.
Perhaps emboldened by the philosophy espoused by the characters they portrayed, Gary Cooper and Patricia Neal went public with their affair, and the public scandal that it produced. Despite all the turmoil and the scandal, shooting of the film was now complete. It remained to be seen, however, if the novel could translate to the big screen, and whether the public was ready for it. Ayn Rand once said that my audience is the common man. The preview showings of the film confirmed this. In Huntington Park, considered a labor district, the audience got the jokes and applauded the message of Rourke's speech. In upper-scale Hollywood, the film was accepted, but not so enthusiastically. The same pattern held true for the rest of America. In the blue-collar markets, the film did better than in the white-collar districts. The critics, by and large, were unaccustomed to the ideas expressed and did not understand the film's message or the romantic realism style of the dialogue, focusing instead on Rourke's drill during the quarry sequence. After the screening in Huntington Park, Warner was over the moon at the audience reaction and offered to purchase Rand's next novel, still unwritten and sight unseen, right then and there. Cooper was not so pleased. Having now seen the film in context, he believed that he didn't read the speech in the manner that it should have been for maximum impact. Despite the efforts of the censors and the critics, The Fountainhead would go on to achieve a massive following, playing repeatedly on television and sending the book back to the top of the bestseller lists. More than 400,000 copies of Ayn Rand's books were sold in 2004 alone. Total sales of Rand's fiction and nonfiction now exceed 20 million copies. Patricia Neal's career would rocket as a result of her performance, culminating in her Oscar-winning performance in HUD some 15 years later. Gary Cooper would go on to become one of Hollywood's most beloved and celebrated performers, becoming famous for his portrayal of another heroic individualist, Marshal Will King in High Noon, resulting in his second Oscar win for Best Actor. King Peter's work on The Fountainhead only solidified his reputation as a stylist, with its stunning visual content and a drama that critics such as Bruce Elder from All Movie Guide said, quote, walked a fine line between the fiercely sexual and the coldly intellectual. Like most of Peter's best movies, it has improved with age, close quote. The Fountainhead remains one of the most talked about films of all time. In an industry that often panders to the lowest common denominator to make safe movies and turn a profit, it remains true to its title as the one time Hollywood took a big chance and stepped out of the mold of playing it safe to create a unique and hugely entertaining film.
Don't pay any attention to all that public howling. I don't. I've been denounced so much it doesn't bother me anymore. I started out in life as a coal miner. Got where I am by acting on my own honest judgment, whether others liked it or not. When you grow older, you will see that that's the only way to succeed in life. I know it. They've been tough on you, they're going to get tougher, but don't worry. You'll win. I have.